The Oracle Network.
Ooh, look at the vibe. I thought that lamp was broken.
The cable got chewed through a little bit, but it's only just a fire hazard.
It's fine, everything else.
Only while we're in the room. Did the cat chew through it?
Oh, yeah.
What else would happen?
What else was Reggie supposed to do with it?
Hi, guys.
Hey guys, welcome. I'm Abby.
And I'm Shawna.
And this is Anxious,
And Afraid.
the podcast.
Where we talk about spooky things.
Spooky and... Ookie. And welcome if it's your first time, and welcome back if it's not.
Yeah.
You know the drill. We talk about stuff that makes us anxious and afraid, like murders and conspiracies and aliens and
tragedies and
disasters and
murders and all the things.
all the things. You know it. Yeah, that's what we do.
Yep, that's what we like to talk about.
Mm-hmm. And we usually like to start with something that made us anxious and afraid this week.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we have the same one.
Right. And we've been away for a little while, technically, since we last recorded.
Oh yeah. So
Things have happened.
Things have happened. We did change our recording schedule. So like, if it seems like we talk about things like kind of after they've happened,
Totally.
that's why.
Yeah, because we like to do like twofers now to give us like one weekend off.
Yeah. We're trying.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did have something really terrible and fucking awful and sad happen.
Yeah, we're going to get serious for a second.
Yeah, because it happened, it's close to home.
Very too much close to home.
Yeah. But my twin sister, Sarah, her childhood best friend was murdered a few weeks
Literally.
ago.
Terrible.
It's so hard to talk about. But
Like randomly out of nowhere.
yeah, it was a home invasion, just a random.
And like in the morning, right?
It's like 6:30 in the morning.
Like, what the fuck? Who does that?
Yeah, and like her husband was shot as well, but he's in stable condition now. But she was killed, and they had a
awful.
2-month-old baby.
She literally just had this little baby.
Yeah.
That is the most heartbreaking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's been really hard for like my family, and it happened only a couple miles away from where my older sister Hannah actually lives. So
Mhm. So she had to like lock herself in her house, right?
yeah, and that was terrifying.
Gosh. Awful.
But they caught the guy, and he's a piece of shit. Like I was reading about him, and he's got a rap sheet. He's like a
Yeah.
violent.
He was definitely on like drugs, right? He looked
He-
like
his-
messed up
Oh yeah, his mugshot. He looked like he was on something, but
for sure.
yeah, he didn't know them. He just picked them and fucked them over. And it's just,
Life changed forever.
and she was so sweet. She's the
so
sweetest,
beautiful.
beautiful girl. Like we had like so many slumber parties together, and we used to ride bikes like when we were kids. Like she's just the nicest person.
It's so crazy. Like I can't even imagine someone that close to
Yeah.
me. Like I can't imagine what you guys are going through.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. So I just feel really bad for her family and his family, and now he's a single dad. Like
Terrible.
he has to have all these surgeries. It's really bad. And like I think the only like silver lining is the community's really pulled together.
Oh, very much so. I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of things on Facebook and
Tons of fundraisers. Like everyone's
Yes.
donating a lot of money, which is good because I'm sure he's going to need it.
so many medical bills.
But yeah, I thought we should talk about that since that's really serious. So
Yeah.
And we're a true crime podcast, so it would be kind of ridiculous if we didn't. But
Right. Very tragic.
But yeah, if anyone's listening that knew her, like, you can reach out and talk to us if you want. But
Totally.
yeah,
Do we have any like links that we can maybe post to like help have people donate to them or something?
yeah, I might try and put some in the show notes. I mean, it's like all over Facebook. If you just look
true.
up Caelen Bosisto, and yeah, it's all over. But
We'll try and do that for sure.
yeah,
Wow. Heavy things.
heavy
I'm
stuff.
so sorry.
Yeah, me too. Really bad.
Okay.
But let's talk about something else that's also terrible. Maybe a little less
Let's switch the vibe a little bit, but not really.
a little less close to home, please.
Yes. Yes. Let's try and switch the topic a wee bit.
Okay, what you have a story for us today?
I do have a story. It is my turn.
And you told me it's going to be like, pretty juicy.
Yeah. I heard about it on Monday and I immediately texted you and I'm like, this is so insane that I'm going to do this. Like, I have to talk about it. I'm obsessed with it right now.
I know. I've been like anxiously waiting all week because I'm like, she had it at the beginning of the week, you guys. Which I mean, first of all, that's amazing that she had a topic picked out already.
At least the topic was picked out. Did not start working on it till later.
It's like last night, but you know,
typical me fashion.
Yeah, and then just bang out 12 pages real quick.
Yeah,
what's wrong with you?
I don't know. I can't stop. It's really annoying. Yeah, this is a doozy, guys. I'm giving you a fair warning now. This one's intense. This one is a little gross.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna go like into many graphic details, but you can try and imagine. Okay, have I hyped it up enough?
I'm like, I have no idea what you're doing. I have literally no idea.
Okay, well, it's funny. The last time we recorded, I was like, wow, it's been a while since I've done a tragedy.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no.
And this one's a natural disaster, kind of. Mother Nature
Oh, my God.
took control.
We do like it when Mother Nature goes hard.
It's one of our very morbid fascinations. It's very true. We love all the movies about it.
Oh, God. What is it?
Okay. Yeah, this one I have not touched before or really, like, heard about even.
Come
And
on, what, we got a tsunami or come on, you got an earthquake?
Michael's going insane.
I know. He's on the edge of his seat.
Okay, well, I'm doing, and it's so, the fact that it's so recent
Oh,
is
my
also,
God, Shawna.
it's also so chilling. Okay.
You're killing me.
Okay.
I'm going to die.
Don't make me interrupt again.
All right, I am doing the 2019 White Island Volcano Eruption.
Whoa, volcano. I don't know much about this, girl.
I have not heard about this, and you're going to hear about it now.
Volcano.
This was at the end of 2019, so like not even like 2 years ago, but like 1 year ago kind of thing.
Why don't I know about... I feel like I must have seen videos. I'm sure I saw videos.
Maybe there is videos. I'm definitely going to post them like all over our social medias and stuff, but
Okay.
yeah.
Real side quest here real quick. Did I tell you about the documentary I wanted to recommend to you about aliens and volcanoes?
Aliens and volcanoes?
Yes.
Are they living in volcanoes now instead of the ocean?
Girl, I gotta show you later.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay.
There's like legit UFOs popping in and out of volcanoes. And
Get
there's
out of town.
all kinds of footage.
They're everywhere.
And there's a documentary. It's on Amazon.
Oh, you're giving it to me right now.
Oh my God, we're gonna watch
But
it
later.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I would love that. You have not told me about it.
Okay.
Wow, volcanoes. We're talking about them.
Oh my God, here we go. We have not done a volcano story before.
Nope, it's intense.
This is new territory. Ooh.
Okay, so it's kind of also known as Whakaari or Whakaari, but I'm going to be calling it White Island.
Okay.
The island is the volcano.
Okay.
Same diff.
Gotcha.
Okay, so White Island has been an active volcano for quite some time.
Okay.
It's located 30 miles or 48 kilometers off the northeast coast of North Island, New Zealand, in the Bay of Plenty.
New Zealand.
So we are in New Zealand, people.
Is that near the Ring of Fire?
Yeah.
Is there a ring of fire?
Yep.
Yeah. It's like a ring of volcanoes.
Oh, cool. It's probably a part of it.
It's like part of this really chill club. It's called the Ring of Fire.
Right, exclusive. Okay, so yes, it is about a 90-minute ride traveled by boat or about a 20-minute ride traveled by helicopter.
Oh, don't get in that helicopter.
Oh my gosh, helicopters are also terrifying. So this is a huge volcano, and it's also mostly underwater. So it's kind of like an iceberg in a way, where like all of it's underwater, but then just the tip was poking out right above it.
Okay, just the tip.
Just the tip. So, okay, this volcano has erupted many times in recent history. Several times in in the 1980s. There was a major eruption that happened in the year 2000,
Okay.
where there is now a large new crater lake, pretty much, and that was formed. It's filled with acid. It's an acid lake.
Okay, not a chill lake.
Not a chill lake.
Not a fun swim spot.
Don't go swimming there.
An acid lake. Dear God.
This is very intense.
That's metal. Like, it's metal. Metal as fuck.
That's hardcore. Yes. And there's also smaller eruptions that happened in the year 2012, 2013, and 2016.
Okay, she's been popping off.
She's been roaring.
Yeah.
So it's been it's a very much alive volcano. And starting in the 1990s, this was becoming a very popular and growing tourist attraction.
Because it's active, people want to go see it. Okay, well,
And it's beautiful.
well, I'm sure, but
That
wouldn't be on my top 10 vacation spots.
Right. It's a little intense.
Yeah.
But so once you arrive on the island, it's totally like being on another planet. Like there's nothing like it. Who steps on a volcano?
Right.
So there's bright yellow sulfur crystals everywhere. There's algae that creates bright reds and bright green streams. There's like neon double mint yellow green also everywhere.
Ooh, I'm going to have to look at pictures of this place later.
Yeah, in the video you can see a lot of these bright colors and it's really pretty. It's really breathtaking. I can understand why people go there.
Now I'm getting it because I'm thinking of just like a black rock.
This is kind of like a magical, colorful place.
Okay.
There's pockets of steam that are coming up from the ground. So it's very like, it's like you're on Mars or something.
Yeah,
like
I was kind of thinking like Yellowstone, kind of like that just otherworldly quality to it.
And the highlight of the tour was actually making it up all the way to the damn crater. The actual mouth of the volcanic beast where you look down upon the acid lake.
Ew, you can actually go see it.
Yeah, but the acid lake is like blanketed with like pure white steam. So you can't really see the lake. Sometimes if the wind blows it just right, you can.
Okay.
So that's very rare. But that is the highlight of it.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, if there was like established tour companies taking people to this island or volcano every day for decades, like hundreds of thousands of people have been there.
Oh, wow.
I would be the type of person that would like assume it's cool, it's legit, it's
Right.
safe. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, what are the odds?
Right. If they're like risking the tours, then they must feel that it's safe, you would think.
Totally. And like, seriously, what are the odds? Like, oh, the one time I'm there for like 2 hours,
It erupts.
gonna something totally bad happening.
I would assume that because I'm terribly unlucky, and that's why I wouldn't go there.
So I wonder, I mean, now that I'm anxious all the time now, I wonder if I would do it. I think I can see the attraction, but I'm also terrified, especially after this story.
I'd be too scared. I think I'd be uncomfortable the whole time.
Because everything's still like hot and you're on a volcano.
You're just, yeah, there's so many red flags. I think my body would just be in like high alert the whole time, and I'd be stressed out.
Totally.
Like, oh my God, was that steam? Was that the eruption? Is it happening?
It would almost be like you're back in time, like in dinosaur land. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
that's what I'm picturing.
primordial soup.
Soup.
That's what the acid lake is.
Yes. Okay. So this volcano is pretty well monitored and was actually showing the beginning signs of unrest just several weeks before this infamous eruption.
Okay, see, if you have signs, you should be back.
They should have saw the signs.
She's erupted before. She's not bluffing.
In October of 2019, volcanic tremors and sulfur dioxide gas were at their highest since the last eruption in 2016.
Oh, Lord, and people are still going? No.
So she's just like, hi, I'm about to bust through the door here.
Hi, I'm here.
Yeah, so all the signs are pointing towards an eruption, but the tours were still continuing their business as usual.
Oh, I wonder if anyone's warned, like, they probably have to sign waivers to, like...
Ooh, I didn't hear about signing waivers. They're definitely not warned, though. This is part of the issue.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, that's terrible.
Part of the issue. Yes. On November 18th, the volcano activity was now rated at a level 2 status, with a level 3 being the actual eruption.
Uh-oh.
Yep. And on November 24th, 2 weeks before the tragic event, there was a 5.9 earthquake lasting about a minute, with the epicenter that was just 6.2 miles or 10 kilometers northeast of White Island. And the people throughout New Zealand were able to feel it. So
Now she's getting shook up.
She's getting shook up.
She's like a Coke bottle. She's like, I'm ready to erupt.
I mean, all the signs are there. And it's terrifying.
I hate this. Oh, God.
You're going to hate all of
hot
it.
magma.
Well, I'll tell you about it.
Okay.
Okay, so all of these warning signs were happening, but no one was taking them seriously. And these tours obviously were making a lot of money. It was a huge contributor to their economy. So I guess a lot of the times it would go to level 2, but go back to level 1. And so they were like, everything's fine.
Oh, they're like, we're used to it.
Yeah.
It's not really going to happen.
Everything's going to be okay.
No.
And it's not going to be. On December 4th, the Royal Caribbean cruise ship called Ovation of the Seas set sail from Sydney, Australia to New Zealand for a beautiful 12-day cruise ship.
Did you say Royal Caribbean?
Yeah, Royal Caribbean.
Okay, they're like a big company.
They're huge, and they're not chill.
Oh.
They're not cool. Yeah, so all the passengers on this cruise were all given a day pass to White Island as well. Like, kind of came with their trip.
Wow, so it's like it's a thing. Like
It's
if
a
through
huge
cruise line. Like
Right.
shit.
Like, lots of people got these cruise tickets just for that day pass to White Island. That's how popular it was.
Wow.
Intense. So the brochures definitely didn't fully explain all of the dangers that could ensue with volcanoes.
Yeah, you don't say.
Some of their cheesy headlines that were on it were like, volcano handle with scare.
Oh my God! Stop.
Or one of them was like, get close to the drama.
Oh. Stupid.
It's dumb. Yeah. So they mentioned how long the ride there would be, the strenuous hike up on it, and pretty much just advised people to wear closed-toed shoes.
Oh no.
That's all you gotta do.
How is this? I just don't.
Well, volcanic rock is really sharp, so you got to protect your toes.
Okay, it is very sharp. I've walked on
And
it
that's the
before.
only hazard.
That's the only thing you need to worry about.
Only thing you need to worry about, because you know what? They're gonna give you hard hats. They're gonna give you gas masks, and everything's gonna be fine.
They give you hard hats and gas masks?
They give you hard hats and gas masks.
You have to wear them the whole time?
You don't have to wear the mask the whole time, but the hard hats.
Interesting.
But no one was ever informed of the latest activity and that the volcano was set at a level 2 rating. So nobody knew about this.
It's so bad.
Which, if they knew about it, maybe some of them wouldn't have gone.
Yeah, I would think.
Right.
That's a lot of risk to take.
So the big day for the cruise passengers arrived. It was December 9th, 2019.
God, that's so recent.
Isn't that so crazy recent? Like, that's like just right before the pandemic happened.
Yeah, that was right before shit hit the fan.
Okay. It's peak summertime because it's on the other side of the world. So think very tropical, very warm. Everything, like the water's blue and warm. Everything's great.
Yeah, inviting. I want to be there.
I want to be there too. Okay. And about 100 tourists were ready for their 6-hour adventure to White Island from the cruise ship.
6 hours. Okay.
Like for the kind of an all-day event to get there and then to hike and then to go back.
Gotcha.
It's roughly 6 hours, I guess. I believe the tourists also ranged from like 13 years old to 72 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So big range of people were able to handle it. And these people were all separated by 3 different boats from the company White Island Tours.
Okay.
The first boat left for the island at 9:30 a.m. The second boat left at 10:30 a.m. And the third and final boat departed at 11:30 a.m.
Okay.
Keep in mind, these are 90-minute rides to get to the island.
Okay.
That's how remote it is from boat. There's the helicopter company titled Volcanic Air. They were also doing smaller tours of more like groups of 4 that were visiting the island during the same time.
Okay.
So you got people from the boats and people from the helicopters going to this volcano.
Arriving by sea, arriving by air.
Exactly.
Got it.
Once the boats arrived, they actually had to stay anchored a distance away from the shore. Then they had to have these large inflatable like motor rafts to start taking groups of people to the shore and help them onto the jetty.
Got it.
The crew members gave a brief safety announcement reminding guests to stay on the trails, to keep in between the 2 guides, and to not touch anything.
Okay.
But like, that's it.
Here's your gas mask. Have fun. I would be alarmed if someone handed me a gas mask.
It's a little intense, yeah. Okay. Oh, speaking of gas masks, I think I talk about it here. They advised the guests that if they felt the need to put on their gas masks, the closer they got to the top of, towards the crater lake.
Okay. Is it like letting off toxic fumes? Is that why?
The steam is acid.
Oh, cool.
This is not water we're talking about. This is fucking acid.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It wouldn't be. Okay. Cool. So chill.
So chill. And get
just
this.
wear those closed-toed shoes.
People were wearing t-shirts and shorts. Like,
yeah. Like, doesn't it hurt your skin? I don't know.
Exfoliates a little bit.
It's a chemical peel.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Like, you get a hike, you get a view, you get a chemical peel.
All in one.
You're welcome.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so get this. They said that if they found themselves engulfed in some steam, like if it blew their direction, to simply turn around and crouch down.
Oh, God. Assume the fetal position.
Exactly.
Hope that it blows the other direction.
Open your eyes really wide so you can see it.
No.
Okay. There's also like little ponds up on the way there, and they could reach degrees up to 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Just boiling acid lakes. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. There was a Brazilian tourist named Alessandro Kaufman who happened to be a passenger on the second boat out to the island. Mm-hmm. And he decides that he's going to vlog his whole experience, which has now become like the best and the most famous footage of this whole event.
Okay.
That's the footage I'm going to be posting on our group for sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I say the video is pretty stunning. I'll make sure to post it on our Facebook group, which is Anxious and Afraid the Pod. If you haven't already joined, that is where we do, like, we post more like interesting articles or videos, like exclusively to the group. So if you haven't joined, join there so you can also watch these very intense videos.
Yeah.
This guy's video is only about a 9-minute video, so it's not very long. So I highly recommend watching it because it's beautiful and stunning and then terribly tragic.
Okay. Oh, God.
I'm also going to there's a couple documentaries and shows that I watched on YouTube that I'll post as well because they're just fascinating.
Yeah.
Because they interview a lot of the people that were there.
How did you even find this story? How did you stumble upon it? Were you just in a YouTube hole?
I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts called Milehigher podcast, and they did this story, and I was just blown away, and I was like, I must do this.
Yeah, I've never heard of this story, so
never heard of it, and it was so recent. I'm like, how this is so intense. How do we not know this?
Well, it happened in December, right? So then COVID happened.
Happened,
and I think Australia was on fire. There was a lot of stuff going on.
There was a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of headlines.
Yeah, and America tends to like talk about itself more than the rest of the world.
Yeah, we had a president that was making a lot of headlines, so there was a lot to look at.
Just keeping up with that guy was fucking exhausting. Don't even get me started. Yeah, so I guess it makes sense that we didn't hear about it, but it's like it's so intense.
This is an insane story.
Insane. Gets weirder, crazier. Okay, so tourists from the second boat out were hiking back to the shore. They were able to see the volcanic air helicopter sitting on its landing pad. And then they walked by the abandoned sulfur mine. And this is all caught on Alessandro's video. Mm. Before making it back to the boat, he pans his camera around the island one last time.
Oh, so he's on his way out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The sky is completely clear and blue. He even has his camera glance down at his watch, which reads 1:49 p.m. Mm-hmm. And then he boards the boat, and they leave the island.
Okay.
The third and final boat arrived at the island around 1 p.m., and they had 42 people on board. They were divided into 2 tour groups of 19 with 2 guides each group. At 2 o'clock, the first group of the 2 were almost back to shore, while the second group was still at the top of the crater.
Okay.
All the passengers from the second boat were now officially boarded, and they were making their way back to the mainland.
Okay.
And Everyone take a deep breath and we're going to take a break now before things get really intense.
I can feel it.
Okay, are y'all prepared now?
Oh, I guess.
We're continuing.
All right.
So the 2 guides of the very last group that were still up by the crater started noticing puffs of black steam or smoke appearing from the lake and the ground.
They're like black steam.
Yeah, instead of the usual all white. That's not a good sign.
No, if I was the tour guide, I'd be peeing my pants.
Yes.
Because they have to know. Like, they've been there enough to know.
Right, and they're the ones that are aware of the level 2 rating. So they're getting really anxious. Mm-hmm. And so they decided to cut their tour short.
Okay.
And they started asking everyone to start making their way back to shore. So some of the people were like, oh, that's a little weird. Cutting it short. It must be, what?
What's going on?
Literally right before heading back and minutes before tragedy struck, a father named Paul took a picture with his 2 young daughters, Stephanie and Crystal. They were right in front of the crater with like their hands up in the air, smiling.
Oh, good.
I think I can find that photo and post it. It's very eerie.
Oh, God.
It sucks too because they were on this vacation to celebrate Crystal's 21st birthday.
Oh,
And their mom stayed behind on the cruise ship as they went.
No. That's so sad. Because I'm assuming something terrible happens to them.
Something terrible happens, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Seconds later, at 2:11 p.m., Crystal's phone happens to still be recording. This is very eerie footage if you watch the dogs. Motorcycle.
Oh, I was like, what am I hearing?
They decided to make an appearance. You keeping all this in?
I don't know. We'll see in the final cut.
Okay, just in case, I'll start over. So seconds later, at 2:11 p.m., Crystal's phone happens to still be recording. It's a very eerie footage if you watch the documentaries I'll post.
Okay.
It actually caught the first eruption on camera.
Oh, my God.
And you hear someone sharply say, "Run."
Oh, no. Oh, my
So
God.
creepy.
That is, oh, my God.
It is so creepy. I have chills all over my body.
Me too.
Yeah, and then the phone starts shaking rapidly as she's literally running for her life.
Dear God. Oh, my God. I can't even imagine this. This is insane.
Yeah. I told you this is a doozy.
Oh, my God.
Like, the fact that there's footage that I, like,
Modern footage.
seen and I can replay in my head as I tell the story is so crazy.
Yeah, that was my problem with the Hindenburg. Like, just because you know what's at. Oh,
Yeah.
it's hard to breathe and tell these stories.
Right. As you can tell, I'm having a hard time breathing.
Yeah, I'm like, when am I supposed to find a breath in this?
Right. So while the first eruption shot ash and steam upwards up to 12,000 feet or 3,600 meters into the air,
Whoa.
there was a second eruption that blasted horizontally right at everyone.
No.
And quickly shot outwards towards the ocean, filling up the whole island with a thick dark plume of smoke, acid steam, and ash.
Oh, no. Acid steam.
Yes, that's intense. So within seconds, everything went dark for everyone that was stuck on the island.
Oh, my God. How would you even see?
You don't, girl. They didn't.
It blocked out the sun.
Yeah. No one could see anything nor breathe. Everyone,
They have gas masks. Is that
some of them do.
okay?
I don't think everyone at the time does. But even so, I think it'd be hard with a gas mask on.
Yeah, it's not designed for that. Probably.
Everyone was not only burning alive from the heat and acid, but the sheer blast was making everyone tumble off their feet, and they're hitting the hot ground as they were falling.
And sharp, probably.
Rocks everywhere. Hot rocks.
Oh, God.
Like everything's hot and burning you in seconds.
This is fucking awful.
It's funny because you like mentioned your burn earlier, like it blistering, and I'm like, oh, girl.
Oh, no.
I'm about to talk about some gross stuff.
I burned my arm with hot oil, you guys. It looked really gnarly.
It was.
It's a cute little 2nd-degree burn.
Just a cute little one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the terribleness.
Okay.
White and red hot rocks were also being blasted through the air. Now, you mentioned this earlier, there's no lava
Okay.
in this volcano eruption, like people would typically think.
Right, but still equally terrible.
Still equally terrible, but it is strictly a steam eruption, which I do believe is a little bit harder to monitor or predict for like scientists and stuff. I guess I don't know. But yeah, there's no actual like oozing lava happening. It's acid, steam, and ash happening.
Yeah, when I hear like a steam eruption, I guess I would immediately think like water steam. So you'd be like, oh, well, that's not that bad. But no, it's acid steam.
Even if it was water steam, it's boiling hot. It would still burn you. But like this is acid, chemical burn on top of heat burn. Everything's burned.
Projectiles just coming out of that thing, rock like white hot. Ugh.
People had to experience this. Like, I can't.
Only a couple years ago, people experienced this. That's what was always so crazy. It's just like, it seems like such a freaking prehistoric moment and you're just in modern times.
Right. Like, it's really hard to actually comprehend the actual, like, gruesomeness that these guys went through.
Well, because, like, usually, well, at least in modern times, you'd think people wouldn't be around for an eruption because there's so many warnings. And, like, duh, why would you be near an erupting volcano?
Right. Not the case in this story, which is so insane. I've never heard of such a thing.
Oh, me neither.
Okay. With steam eruptions, boiling acid or water steam can reach up to 300 degrees Celsius or 572 degrees Fahrenheit or hotter.
Oh my God.
This isn't just boiling water for pasta. This is hot.
No, I mean, you would probably die immediately with just a breath. Like, it would incinerate your lungs.
Breathing the hot.
Oh,
oh God, I can't even comprehend. Okay, so Alessandro on the second boat that was leaving the island also caught all of this on camera, the big eruption.
From far away on the boat.
Exactly, so there's that perspective.
Wow.
The colorful volcano he and everyone else were just on 10 minutes prior were now engulfed in ash.
I can't believe being in that boat and seeing like you just missed it by that much.
You just missed it. That could have been you. That literally could have been you.
Oh, the survivor's guilt. Oh, that would be hard.
Intense. Yeah, everyone on his boat had to actually still rush inside for better protection from the blast as they were circling around it because the ash was heading out towards the ocean. Mm. Like, that's also a very intense traumatic experience.
Yeah.
After the initial shock, everyone starts to realize and dread that people were still on the island. And I think they were still able to see, like, the dots of people on the crater.
No.
Like, people weren't just on the... They were at the mouth of the volcano. Like,
and you're seeing that. Oh, my God. Seeing that happen to another human being, like, God, so traumatizing.
Terrible. The eruption lasted about a minute, and once the ash settled... their boat started to make their way back in order to rescue anyone still alive. These people had no time to mentally or emotionally prepare themselves for what they were about to witness.
Oh my God. They're about to see terrible things.
They're about to see terrible, horrific things.
And they're not first responders. Like, no.
These are regular people.
Regular ass people.
Yeah. But it's like such a good story in the sense of like, they rushed into action and they did it. Like,
yeah, like what else can you do?
Right. And it's just like that brings you onto such a human level. It doesn't matter what race, political thing you are. You don't want to see a human suffer like that.
Right.
And you would hope that someone would do that for you. Like, it literally could have been that.
Okay, I was like, this isn't going to be like a Titanic boat situation, right? Like,
oh my
they're
God,
going to turn around. Like,
yeah, they're turning around because this is another huge group of people. Mm-hmm. And how do you move a huge group of people with the helicopters? You can't fit so many people in a helicopter, you know? So they have to go back if they're going to rescue.
I would imagine visibility would be not great for helicopters.
Well, once the ash settled, it was like clear around it.
Okay.
The volcano
Didn't linger.
Didn't linger. I mean, it was still like raining and spewing, but it wasn't like the huge mushroom cloud of
Got it.
awfulness. Okay, so the once white boat that was left anchored by the shore was now all evenly coated with ash. And the once colorful island was now covered in a foot of ash.
A foot? From just a minute eruption?
So much, yeah. A few people were actually able to make it into the water. Like they dove in to prevent themselves from getting severely burnt. I think they still suffered like face and hand burns, but it's definitely not the worst that I'll be talking about.
Oh, God. I mean, okay.
I mean, you're lucky if you got into the water. I think there was like 3 people that were able to jump into the water. Okay. But the rest that were just on shore, and I mean this respectfully, I wanted to use this word to like describe it. They're like walking zombies. Like
The shock of it. Like,
the shock. They're covered in ash. They're burnt alive.
oh,
Like
God.
I can't even imagine.
Burn. I like literally said a couple episodes, or was it last episode? Like, I can't handle burn victims. Like, there's just,
I'm giving you all of them right now.
it's one of my things because it's probably one of the worst pains
injuries
that you could ever experience.
And like,
And it's on their
all
whole
over
body.
your whole body, your whole skin, which is the hugest organ on you. And but if you touch anything, okay, I'm gonna get into it.
You surrounded by salt water.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Okay, so there was that group of people that were on shore, and they were trying to gather themselves onto the jetty as they were waiting for help. The helicopter could be seen from a distance, the one that was landed on the volcano, and it was completely blown off its landing pad, and the propellers were now bent down like spider legs.
Oh, whoa! Like they
So-
melted.
I think that, or the blast, like just very intense.
Good Lord!
Like, and helicopters are heavy and metal,
Oh my God!
so that's very intense.
A violent blast.
Yes. 47 people total were on the island at the time of the eruption.
God, those poor people.
I know. Some people, I'm really sorry about this next sentence.
Okay, prepare everyone.
Some people's skin were literally melting off of them.
No.
Like one guy describes putting his hand on the railing of the jetty and I hate using this word, but like slipped off.
No.
I'm so sorry. It's
Oh
so
my
gross.
God.
I'm so nervously laughing. It's so
Oh, I can't.
I can't imagine that kind of injury.
Just like watching that happen to yourself.
Right?
I can't imagine the pain. I just can't. I mean, they probably would be zombies. They're be just reduced to basic function, like how I feel like your brain would shut down.
Yeah, you're walking muscle and bone. Your skin is hanging off of you.
But
I'm so sorry.
okay.
Their eyes, ears, and noses were all clogged up with ash.
Oh God.
They also still had, like you said earlier, the hot beating sun that was on them and the salty ocean air and water hitting their burned bodies. There's so many awful factors.
I hate it.
The agony and pain, I just can't even imagine.
My whole body is tensed up right
I
now.
know, I'm very uncomfortable. I'm the one who's had all week to prepare for this.
God. This is what I usually do to you.
I know.
Like, sweet payback.
I feel like I haven't done this one in like this intense in a while.
I'm uncomfortable.
Okay, sorry. The first group of the last boat tour that were left on shore, and the small group from the helicopter tour, they do end up all surviving.
Wow.
Burn victims. So burn victims tend to have what doctors call a golden hour. And so this time, it's like literally kind of an hour. And so this is during the time where people, like burn victims, can usually still walk and move and talk before their bodies come to realize the severe trauma that it's in. Mm-hmm. So if after this golden hour, this is when your brain starts to realize what's happened. and your skin can start blistering really bad. Tongues and throats will start swelling, making it very hard to breathe.
Oh, God.
If people aren't being treated during this golden hour, they are a lot less likely to survive.
Oh, God. They're like an hour and a half away from...
Oh, my gosh. You keep saying it. You keep saying everything like before I say it, which is great. Yes. So getting everyone that was stuck on shore quickly aboard the boat was absolutely critical, as it was a 90-minute boat ride to get back to the mainland.
They're already past that point. Like, oh, God.
And that's like, you're on rough ocean water. Mm-hmm. You're like laying down, like your body's still bumping and hitting. Oh, my God. It's
Good
not.
Lord.
They said it was literally the worst, longest ride ever.
I can't imagine. Like, I had that tiny, well, not tiny, but that burn on my arm. And it was true. Like, it didn't blister up for a while. And it wasn't that, well, no, it hurt. But, like, yeah. And I can, because just what I watched happen on my arm was gross. I can't imagine.
That was like a quarter size.
That was not even close to what these people experienced. I just
So
can't.
bad.
I feel so bad for them. I can't even imagine.
For everyone else left in the second group that were up by the crater, helicopter search and rescue needed to come as soon as possible if anyone happened to survive that blast.
How would you survive it?
And that alone is also a 20-minute trip there and a 20-minute trip back. So critical time is happening right now.
Yeah, they get there as like fast as possible.
Two extremely brave crew members stayed behind on the island as the boat rushed the victims back to the mainland. Passengers started a train of filling up and passing out water bottles to help wash the ash from the survivors' faces and also trying to cool off their burnt bodies. People also tried to collect and pass around inhalers that they had to help survivors breathe. They would also take some of their own clothing to wrap around the victims to act as a second skin.
Oh, yeah, because the sun, like, ugh.
Yeah. Others would also start to just like hold and comfort them, like as many as they could, while they're like screaming and crying in absolute pain and agony.
God.
Like, I would be crying. Like,
I would be sobbing. Like, how do you comfort someone?
How do you touch and hold and comfort somebody? But they did.
I feel like I'm not one of those people that I don't know if I would know what to do. Like,
I would be frozen probably.
right. I feel, yeah, it's hard not to imagine just freezing up. Like, what are you supposed to do?
But that, and they have maybe like a first aid kit. They don't have proper equipment. So like water bottles and inhalers,
And
like
most
that's
people,
it.
like, don't know what to do with extreme burn victims. It's not like
No.
this knowledge that you just have.
No,
And it's
this
not
is-
like they had supplies. Ugh.
No, it's all around terrible situation. Okay. So the two crew members that were left behind went to start searching for the other group. Miraculously, a 19-year-old man named Jesse was seen running down the hill, and he ends up being the worst injured survivor of the whole event, with over 90% of his body being severely burnt.
Oh, God.
How are you still running?
How are you living?
Right? Like, how do you do
It
that?
must have just been pure adrenaline. Like, he was
Seriously, because he was
pure
like towards the
adrenaline.
top, and so he just didn't stop running
Literally ran down a mountain hill.
while he's
Okay,
burning
no.
alive.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so there is a handful of pilots from local helicopter companies that ended up seeing the eruption from land, and they decided for themselves that they wanted to head over to the island and help in any way they could.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. Like, more the merrier. These pilots are not at all medically trained, nor equipped with any proper rescue training or anything.
Well, welcome to the party. 'Cause that's what's happening.
Exactly. So,
Fit
like,
right in.
this is not search and rescue. These are just
Volunteers,
pilots.
yeah.
Yeah. Like for tours, other tours. They were equipped with other like gas masks and some first aid kits. That's like it.
Wow.
And these guys end up being the absolute heroes and angels of the story.
Oh, yay. A silver lining.
There is some good things. There's a 65-year-old man named John Funnell, I believe his name is. He was a search and rescue veteran, and he headed towards the island first. He ended up staying in the air circling the island in order to communicate and update with the actual search and rescue team. So I guess that was kind of his role. The other pilots named Jason Hill and Tom Story took off secondly at around 2:50 p.m., which is 40 minutes after this eruption.
Wow.
A third chopper left shortly after them with pilot Mark Law, and a fourth and final chopper piloted by Tim Burrow and Graham Hopcroft,
Okay.
I believe, all headed to the island. Do we want to do another quick break here before we get into like the third part of the story?
Sure.
Okay.
Third chapter.
All right. So many people left in the second group, like that were stuck by the crater, were actually still conscious.
Oh, God.
So do you remember me mentioning Stephanie, who took the picture with her sister Crystal and father Paul?
Yes.
Okay.
21st birthday.
Right. Crystal's 21st birthday. She and her father were still conscious. And every 10 to 20 minutes, Paul would just yell out Stephanie's name just to keep making sure that she was still awake and alive while they waited for help.
Oh, my God.
That's so heartbreaking.
To go through that. Oh.
But like that's your only like defense mechanism, like because you don't want to fall asleep or cave in because then you're like dead.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
And just having to be awake during that agony.
Seriously, like you can't move. Ugh. And you're completely burnt. Like they're charred. They were right there.
Oh, God.
So they were a lot more intense. I won't go into a lot of their injuries, but just imagine like black.
Ugh. I can't believe they lit. Okay.
Right. When the pilots finally landed, even with goggles and gas mask on, their eyes and throats were already stinging from the toxic air. But they carried on to help out any survivors that were found near the crater. Once they found people, they would examine their injuries, give them water to drink if they were conscious, and put on gas masks on them, whether they were conscious or not, just so they could breathe
Not toxic air.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They could tell that many of them were facing the blast when it happened. They were being hit with hydrofluoric acid and sulfuric acid, to be specific.
Okay.
Okay, so though the two guides in this group were found dead, they found footprints and other evidence suggesting that they continued to help aid the tourist before succumbing to their own injuries.
Oh, my God. Oh, those poor people.
So they even though they were burned themselves, they were putting gas masks on other people before they died.
I'm sure they felt like responsibility for them.
Oh, I mean, sure. How could you not?
Oh, God.
It's terrible. Okay, so the pilots kept reassuring everyone that they were not alone and that help was on the way. But unfortunately, this is not great. But that was not the case.
Oh, no. No. Why?
So I don't understand this, and obviously very controversial, but search and rescue was actually ordered to not fly to White Island because it was deemed too unsafe with another possible eruption. And they were ordered to fly to the side of the mainland where the boat with all the other victims would arrive, and so they can treat them and transport them to the nearest hospital.
But they're not going to go get anyone.
Nope.
Whoa,
Even though that's their
sucks.
damn job. I'm sorry, but your job is to go into danger for people in danger. And I think they assumed oh, no one's going to survive that. So they just didn't.
Yikes. Oh, God.
So that angers a lot of people.
I'm sure.
So once these untrained regular tour giving
meanwhile, there's
pilots,
people who don't know what they're doing instead.
right, they're there and they're aware that they're there. But they're doing the search and rescue job anyways. So these pilots already on the island heard the news, and they realized that it was literally all up to them, and they stepped into action.
Wow.
These
Thank
guys,
God that they
right?
were there.
I mean, these guys are heroes. So pilots went back to their choppers to land them closer to where the victims were. They started carrying them in their own arms, loading them up into each chopper as much as they could. And these are sitting up seats.
Yeah, I was like, they're not big.
No.
Like, choppers aren't big.
You can't lay down. These are sitting up seats.
Okay.
Like, it's not ideal.
Not ideal. Probably better than a boat, but still very not ideal.
Yeah, and quicker, but you also can't transport so many at a time.
Yeah,
They only have 3 choppers there.
Yeah, I can't imagine more than like a few people would fit.
So some people with pulses before sadly no longer had pulses. And that's like how fast people were dying.
I mean, that kind of burns. It's so awful.
And they were already like waiting for help at first. Like that time just could have been a little bit more useful if they, that's annoying. Another heartbreaking thing is one pilot even felt a young girl die in his arms.
Oh, that poor. Oh, no.
She was gripping onto him when he first grabbed her, but then she went completely lifeless when they approached the helicopter. But they decided to load her in anyways. Paul, who was with his daughters, asked them to be loaded first because he's a dad, and that's what dads want, and that's crazy. I mean, not crazy, but like selfless.
Yeah.
Crystal, unfortunately, no longer had a pulse, so they decided to not load her. They took Stephanie, who ended up being the second worst injured victim to survive. She does survive.
Wow.
She had up to 75% of her body burned.
Oh, my God. That poor girl.
She was beautiful.
Oh, can you imagine leaving your sister behind?
Terrible. And then they, after loading her, then they loaded her father, Paul. The pilots flying the victims back would try to talk constantly to the victims the entire time in order to try to keep them awake and alive. Like doing every little possible thing they could do.
I can't imagine being those pilots. That is...
Also, what do you say?
I know. What do you
talk about?
Because it's not like I can't imagine they're doing a lot of talking back. So they're probably just having to fill the air
Yeah.
with random stuff. Like I don't. That's like a whole other thing I wouldn't even think about. Like, what are you supposed to talk about?
Yeah. What do you even say? What music do you like? Like, I don't.
I can't ask you about your vacation. It's been bad.
Ugh, yeah. But they did because that's like the least they could do. So out of these 3 helicopters total, loading up the victims, they were able to grab 12 more people in about 40 minutes total, which is amazing for untrained pilots. One pilot even stayed behind in order to drag and gather the other 8 bodies, dead bodies, that had to be left there. So he's like organizing them.
So traumatizing.
Like, I can't imagine doing that. Yeah, so he's gathering them up so it would be easier to see them and load them for whenever there was another helicopter to come pick those bodies up. With 8 bodies left and no other survivors, any other pilots or crew members that were left on the island were now ordered to leave. And I believe this is actually when one of the search and rescue choppers decided to go grab them.
Oh, thank you.
Like hours after the eruption.
Yikes.
It's so infuriating.
Yeah.
Because they have like stretchers and things to
All
treat
the
them
equipment.
immediately.
I mean, I bet they felt terrible. Like they're just following orders. Like,
That's also true. Like they're only following orders. That's true.
yeah, I bet they were in agony, like knowing that people needed them and they weren't allowed to help them. God, that would suck.
Yeah. It was technically these untrained pilots were doing their job. It's so crazy. Unfortunately, a storm came over the island that night and created mudslides of ash.
Oh, great.
So scattering the bodies that were left there
Oh, no.
and even washing away 2 of them
God, that's so sad.
into the ocean.
No.
Just so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Days later, divers at least were able to find one of the 2 bodies that washed into the ocean. They grabbed his body, and while on the boat ride over the choppy waters, believe it or not, his body went overboard.
No, are you kidding? Come on.
They found him and lost him again, and he's gone forever because it was in deeper water.
Dear God.
Can you imagine that, like, family, like,
That poor family.
they had him and then they fucking lost them?
That's
So you don't even have that closure of, like, putting their body to rest.
right.
So many traumatic things. 6 days after the eruption occurred, the 6 other bodies were finally picked up and taken back to the mainland. 22 people in total died due to the tragedy. 14 Australians, 5 Americans, 2 New Zealanders, and 1 German.
22 people.
22
That's
people
like
died.
half of the people that were on the island, wasn't it?
Exactly. 25 people survived but were severely injured. Another sad note is that, sadly, out of the 12 people that those pilots saved, only 2 survived.
Oh, no.
All that work. It sucks so hard.
I guess, I mean, 2 people is still 2 people.
Exactly. And they, like, lived longer because it was, like, days or weeks later that they ended up passing in the hospital.
Yes, the thing with those kind of burns, like, surviving weeks after, like, you can still go because it's just the damage is too much for your body.
So much trauma. How do you heal from that?
I know, it's your whole, if it's your whole body, like, ugh. Yeah, it just gives out.
So for the survivors, they ended up needing an equivalent of 16 full adult bodies worth of skin grafts.
Holy shit.
Many had to be put into induced comas.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
I volunteer for that. If I'm a burn victim, please put me into a coma. I don't
For
want to
real.
deal with this
Put me to sleep ASAP.
until I'm all the way healed. Then you can wake me up.
Right. A lot of them had to have amputations,
God.
multiple surgeries, and treatments. They were literally, mentally, and emotionally scarred for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
If the actual search and rescue team flew to the island right away and started medically treating those that were, like, still currently alive at the time, maybe more could have survived or suffered less injuries, which is infuriating.
So, yeah. I can't imagine being the families.
Yeah. Paul, Stephanie's father, ended up losing his fight for life later in the hospital. So she ends up losing her father and her sister.
And it's just her and her mom left. Like, her and her mom.
I
Can
know.
you imagine being her mom?
Left on the boat helpless.
Just
or
not
cruise.
knowing and then finding out that only one of them is coming back alive.
And Royal Caribbean did not announce this was happening. So they were finding out, like, with phone calls to, like, other family members, like, turn on the news.
Those dicks.
Royal Caribbean is not chill. Okay. You also remember Jesse, who was, like, running down the hill.
Yeah, the worst of them all,
Right.
burn victim wise.
19 years old. Yeah, he was the most severely burnt. And he was on the island with both of his parents and sister,
Oh no.
who all died.
Oh no.
He had to write all 3 of their eulogies and watch their funerals from his hospital bed.
Oh my God. That's fucking awful.
Yeah. So now to some of the, like, technical investigation law stuff.
Sure.
New Zealand police and the WorkSafe New Zealand launched investigations into the disaster. In November of 2020, WorkSafe New Zealand filed charges against 13 parties over the tours to the island. The owners of the island, the GNS Science Institution, the National Emergency Management Agency, and a handful of tour companies such as Volcanic Air and the White Island Tours.
Someone's got some splaining to do.
Yeah, we got to blame some people, especially when there was fucking warnings.
Yeah, that's bad.
So as of March of this year, 2021,
Wow.
10 of the 13 parties and 3 individuals were charged under the Health and Safety at Work Act. 7 different tour companies and everyone else I just listed were charged.
Okay.
In April of 2020, legal actions was also taken in Australia against Royal Caribbean Cruise Line.
Good.
19 of the 22 people that died were from that cruise. Departure had to be delayed in order for the police to collect victims' DNA from their rooms. Oh. Can you imagine if like you stayed on the ship and then your family dies and the police have to take their stuff from their room? Oh God. You're on vacation. This is tragic.
It's so traumatizing. Just all over the place.
All over the place. Passengers, this is such a slap in the face. Passengers of the cruise were given an equivalent of 1 day's fare as compensation. So 1 day's worth of their money back for the inconvenience.
Oh my
cheap ass.
God.
So infuriating.
I used to want to go on a cruise, but you know what?
I am.
The more I learn, I'm like,
fuck cruises.
Maybe not.
No way. Especially like these big ones like Royal Caribbean. They will do nothing to protect you and everything to save their ass.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Like some of these families just had half their families die.
Here's a free day.
Here's 1 day's worth of money.
I can't.
It's so infuriating. Other survivors also are currently suing Royal Caribbean. And if you didn't hate them already, in return, Royal Caribbean is suing back the fucking survivors.
Suing back?
Because of some breach in the ticket contract.
Fuck off.
Saying like they can't sue them. So they're suing them back. It's like, fuck off.
Oh, okay.
You fucking rich
just
company.
They have so much money. It's
don't support them. Sorry if anyone works for them, but I'm not chill with this. Yeah, that is just how dare you sue survivors back? Like, get out of town. And all of this is like literally still currently going on. So an extra fuck to Royal Caribbean.
Wow. That's so messed up.
It's so messed up. Stupid fine print shit. So fucking stupid. Okay. Luckily, all tours to the island now have stopped indefinitely after this horrific event.
Thanks.
Plus COVID.
Yeah, that didn't help either.
No.
Cruise ships took a hit from that too.
Oh, for sure. Also, fucks cruise ships because of COVID.
Oh my God.
Everything sucks, dude. Yeah. I'm going to stop torturing everyone here, and that's all I got, guys.
Oh, wow. God. Well, thank you for that ride. That was terrible.
I'm so sorry. But I can't even get over it.
A volcano eruption.
With people on it, burning alive and surviving.
Dear God. Those poor people.
Poor people. And they were young. A lot of them are young. The oldest was a 72-year-old man who survived.
He survived?
He survived, but his son didn't. And he even said in an interview, like, I wish it was me that died and not him. Oh, so heartbreaking. But I still highly recommend watching those.
Yeah, I will, but I'll be sad the whole time.
I'm going to force you to watch them because the footage, my God, it's going to put you there. It's going to put you on that volcano.
I'm already stressed out just thinking about it. Oh, God, what a story.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for covering that.
You're welcome. It was a very intense week for me.
Yes, it was. Wow. Well, now you can purge your brain of this.
Yeah, hopefully I can start breathing now.
Take a bath or, I don't know, breathe in some lavender. Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What else? How should we move on from this?
Well, we always switch to City of the Week, right?
Yeah, let's do some City of the Week.
Just switch it up.
And this week, we're kicking it over to Brazil because our City of the Week is Rio de Janeiro.
Get out of here. Hello.
Hello. You just made me feel like really cool.
Oh my gosh, I'm super cool.
Hey, Brazil.
Hey, thanks for listening. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
That's awesome.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Totally.
Do you have anything you're listening or watching you want to talk about?
Oh, you know what? I finally, after all of these years, decided to finally rewatch 30 Rock.
Oh, I've never really given that a shot.
Get out of here. I highly recommend. I love Jack Donaghy, which is...
yes.
What's his name?
Actual
Actual name.
one.
Yes, he's so great. He's so funny. I highly recommend that show. It's
Doesn't
such
he
an
kind of
easy
play
watch.
himself in that kind of a little bit?
Oh, I mean, rich white guy kind
Yeah.
of dick. Yeah. But he's hilarious and his face is it's priceless. So
And
that's
Liz
been
Lemons, like,
I'm literally her. I feel like I'm her.
yeah.
I always still say I want to go to there.
I want to go to there. I've watched some of the episodes and like Tracy Morgan, like I know it's a great cast and like everyone's funny.
It's actually really funny. So you should give it a try. It's such a easy watch to binge.
Well, we do need a new binge show. We're rewatching Community again right now.
Like for the 15th time.
Yes.
Do some
And
30
it's
Rock.
still funny.
I mean, it's a great show too.
Yeah, we've been rewatching that and we also just pretty much watched all the Marvel stuff. We watched Loki and
the cool
WandaVision and what's the other one, Michael?
The What If series.
What If series. We're kind of we put our toe into the water for the winter. What was it?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Wind. It's just not my jam.
Not
I don't
everything
think.
can be your jam.
Yeah,
It's okay.
it was fine.
You're still watching cooler shows than me.
Well, that's subjective. But yeah, that's what we've been watching.
Yep.
Um,
Because I needed an easy, like, going show. Other than Bob's, because I've watched that 20 million times.
see, yeah, we usually have to have one that we've watched a million times that we can just put on whenever, and then you have, your like your side pieces that are your.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Are we ending this now?
I think we all need a breather and to relax now.
I
Sorry.
need to go breathe somewhere alone.
Okay. Well, good night.
Good up and good night. Bye.
Okay, so I did all my research. I first found out about this on Milehigher Podcast, episode 161, youtube.com, 60 Minutes Australia, a documentary titled Trapped in the Volcano, Wikipedia, and OutsideOnline.com. Music is by Broke for Free and Matt Edwards, and were edited by Michael.
All right, you guys, you know the drill. All right, Anxious and Afraid the Pod is our handle for both our Facebook page and the group, along with our Instagram and Gmail.
We're also on Twitter at AAThePod.
You can support us at patreon.com/anxious and afraid. You get some cool perks, ad-free episodes. You get a release a day early. You get a sticker. You get a shout out.
We also have some cute, fun merch if you're interested in that. I always recommend buying a size up in men's. And you can find all of that listed in our episode notes and our website, which is really cute. And that's anxiousandafraid.com. Check it out.
You can also support us for free by leaving a rate and review. And please subscribe and tell your friends.
Anxious and Afraid is partnered with the Oracle Network.